The world is full of problems, and every time a problem arises, some bureaucrat or some politician says, oh, we're going to make new laws, we're going to make more regulations to make sure that doesn't ever happen again. And that's baloney, in my view. But let's just see what Michael Diamond has to say, because he is a brilliant conservative strategist, but you also understand government and public policy. And we have now so many regulations and laws on the books that you can't cross a field in the middle of the night without offending somebody or breaking a law. Are we not stifling our whole economy and country?
Well, look, what are the three things governments do? They regulate it, they tax it, and then they subsidize it. So I think, it is in many ways a broken system.
But that's wrong.
It is absolutely
it's true, but it's wrong.
It is absolutely wrong. And then, look, and if you look at, this is an American example, and I forget the exact number, but, if you're going to a fast food place, the number, we're talking hundreds of regulations by the time the hamburger is served to you.
Yeah.
And sure, some of those are very important, the ones that protect your health, the ones that protect the labor that in the meat processing plant. So there are obviously places where regulations are needed to ensure safety and health and wellness. But is there government overreach? Certainly. So I think
is there not an alternative then to that, Michael? Because other countries, some Asian countries, which are not regulated to death, they are eating our lunch in business. They are producing better than we can produce. And we are resting on the laurels of an economy that was built very, very well years ago. So is there not an alternative just to more government regulation?
Look, there's certainly over-regulation in Canada and the United States, but I think a lot of people want to have their cake and eat it too. They want to deregulate things like the taxi industry, and then they're up in arms about the wages that Uber drivers are making. So at some point, we as a society we cannot have our cake and eat it too on these matters. I definitely think that we're over-regulated. I think if you look at some of the provincial governments in Canada, Doug Ford, as Premier, has brought forward 4 red tape reduction bills to free up private enterprise to be able to thrive in Ontario, create jobs. This is very good. Gordon Campbell, when he was the Liberal Premier of British Columbia, had a rule within government for every regulation we bring on, we have to repeal 2. There are things we can do to be less regulated. It's just important not to get lost, to not see the forest for the trees, and not be to a place where we're so under-regulated that we then have the public calling for more regulation.
So should we foster a type of psychology or a type of public thought where people are going to say, let's have a little bit more responsibility for ourselves and let's rely less on bureaucrats, because the bureaucrats are pretty soon going to be running us all?
Oh, look, absolutely. And I think we also need to be mature enough to know that our public policy decisions are going to have downstream consequences, and then not to be mad at the policymakers who are doing what the public wants when that occurs. We need to, I think, pick a lane in a way and stick through it. If you look at California, where they have ballot initiatives, you'll often have contradictory votes. Let's lower taxes but increase funding to school boards. How does that work?
I don't know. I'm sure the NDP has an answer. Michael, thanks very much. 3 minutes. As you can tell from what you just heard and saw, there are a lot of issues that have to be decided in Canada, and we need independent analysis of them. So, help us stay on the air. Subscribe, tell your friends, PayPal, and thanks for watching.